All right, here we are. My goodness. It is 11:21 p.m. It is Thursday evening, turning in. Soon it'll be Friday morning. As you can see, we're at 997. Three away. It's been a haul. I mean, it's just been a haul. 99 people have seen this live. Some people have dropped by and said, "Yeah, sure, what the heck, why not?" And I appreciate that. I'm as good with that too. So if you've again, if for some reason you've seen this or you've heard about Fight Back Media and the Morning Report, or you remember the Willie Lawson show on Blog Talk Radio. Golly, it just went away from me. Blog Talk Radio. We did a lot of shows on Blog Talk Radio, over 1,000 programs. We also had some time on WGUL 860 here in Tampa on terrestrial radio. We did 22 weeks of brokered radio shows, and my advice to you is don't do brokered radio shows. All they do is make you broker, so don't do it. But I will tell you that it was an expensive lesson, but I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot about broadcasting. I learned a lot about the art of doing it. After I'd practiced on Blog Talk Radio, because when I got to WGUL, the automation that I saw at the radio station was a lot like the automation that was on Blog Talk Radio. So the transition was easier because I had a producer, had somebody taking calls in the other room, putting the commercials in and taking the breaks and all that stuff. So I wasn't worried about that. He was just a little voice in my in my ear. A dude who's now the station manager there, his name is Joe Weaver. Joe Weaver is the best kind of person. He happens to be a Cleveland Brown fan, so he can't be that bad a guy, right? he's long suffering anyway. A real live Cleveland Brown fan. So, and just a super dude, and was my cheerleader the whole time. There as we struggled financially, struggled mightily financially, and that sort of came to an end. So it came to an end after like 22 weeks or whatever. But we had a good time, and we were building a following. We were building a solid Saturday audience. Thanks to Joe's work, and the people, and there were some people there who believed in us early. And Mike, we appreciate everything and how much you believed in us early, and gave us the opportunity. It just it's like a lot of things. It just didn't work out. And as soon as I was done with that, actually, I never stopped doing Blog Talk Radio. We never stopped doing it. We were doing 2 hours every day on Blog Talk Radio. We were on from 12 to 2 or 1 to 3. We were on the very same time Rush Limbaugh was on. So it was funny when people go, "Oh, you're just saying what Rush said." I said, "I don't have any idea what Rush said today." I have no idea what he said because, he was on getting 20 million, 20 million listeners, and I was on getting 20 listeners. But all that time, people ask, "So why are you doing it?" This channel, you can see this channel has been in existence since January 17, 2011. A long time. Not to have reached 1,000 subscribers. But with that, I'm saying that the perseverance it takes to build the skill that you need, so you can build the audience that you need, and that you can craft how you're going to present your side in a way that I guess I could have been, like a lot of programs on Blog Talk Radio, I could have been more controversial. I could have been more in your face. I could have, just been okay with a lot of profanity, and I guess I could have been, but I used to tell people all the time, I'm not like that because once the show started, getting pushed onto, was that Apple thing? Yeah. Said my pastor's wife listens to the show every now and again, and I don't want to have to go to church and explain why I was dropping f bombs and I was saying this and that and being and being in that way, because simply saying, well, I need the listeners wasn't enough. That wasn't going to be enough. So it took longer. It's just if you do it like your heart says to do it, it's going to take longer. It's just going to take longer. And we had someone come to our church once, a prophet, and his wife, and they spoke over me that I was a patient person. And I've just been walking in that. I thought I was, and what they say: if you pray for patience, what does God do? He gives you an opportunity to be patient, right? Gives you a chance to practice it. Gives you the chance to get better at it. And since January 17, 2011, we've been trying to move this channel on, and honestly, we haven't worked the entire time. We started really working in earnest on this channel just a couple of years ago, and started working on this channel in earnest. And right as we started to get some traction, that first video that did really good, that right now is over 97,000 views, is the video that we did about the first McDonald's kiosk in Florida, which happened at a McDonald's not really very far from here. And my friend Shirley Huzar, who lived in California at the time, had heard about it. And she knew where Tampa was and where Wesley Chapel was, and she said, "It's not far from you. You need to go up there and do a video." So I did. And one more. Thank you so much. One more. Thank you so much. Only 2 to go. Praise the Lord. Thank you so much. So I went up and I did it. And it's still on. I mean, it is still by far the most popular. What happened was, I guess somebody's blog, somebody's website embedded it, because I was scrolling and I saw like a YouTube ad or a Facebook ad or something, and from the angle it looked like, because the picture was somebody touching a touch screen, and I was scrolling, and then I did a double take, and I looked at it, and I said, "Oh my goodness, that's my hand. That's my video." And someone had embedded it on their website. And one more. That is fantastic. Praise the Lord. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And this looks like it's going to happen. And I still, because I was all new in it, I can't say that I remember what website or what blog had embedded that video, but they did, and it just took off. And before I knew it, it had 1,000 views, it had 5,000 views, it had 10,000 views, and it was just, for me, it was just rocketing. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then, when the video got to the point where, according to their calculations, YouTube was going to have to pay me the whopping sum of $63.42. I think it was something like that. I got notice that my AdSense account had been disabled. AdSense is the program that you have to be in if you're going to be in the YPP, the YouTube partnership program, in order to get paid from ads. That they had suspended my AdSense account, and it took me a while to figure that out. I mean, it took me a while to figure that out. So I went and I did the research and sent the email, and they told me that I had illegal click activity. I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't have any earthly idea what that was. I really didn't. You know, it's funny how much you don't know, and frankly, how much you don't have to know to get going. And so anyway, I did some research and I found out what had happened, and I thought, well, I didn't do it. I didn't click on my own ads. I don't have any idea what the heck they're talking about. I didn't do it. And I didn't. I swear to you, I didn't do it. But they said that I had illegal click activity, and then I found out how that could be. So if you're going to do this, listen, and the ads pop up, and I remember one time I was curious because I wanted to know what's the experience for my viewers if they click on an ad. What happens? And I think I clicked on one, and I admitted to that, and I found out what the experience was, and I didn't do it again. But then I figured out that if somebody wanted to crap your channel, because the thing is that the creator can't encourage people to click on ads. Can't do it. Can't do it. But if someone wanted to crap your channel, they could just click on your ads. They could just go to every video that you do and click on your ads. And YouTube and Google will think that that you're behind it somehow, and even if you're not, and suspend your AdSense account, and that way you can't be monetized. So it took me forever to figure that out, and of course watch all the videos on. You can go ahead and you could go back. You can go to them and you could say, hey, listen, it wasn't me, and try to beg their forgiveness and all that stuff, but YouTube was not interested. They were not interested. There you go. Yes, Mark, I can. Thank you. I had to change screen so I could see what was going on. But it's just, it was very, 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 very frustrating, and I have tried to since then appeal, and they have not. And as a matter of fact, yes, Coach, that number is accurate, because that number is exactly the same number that YouTube has. Because I've been watching this for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. So the number that Social Blade has is the number that YouTube has. If you look up in the upper right hand corner there, let me see if I can. I don't know if you can see this on the screen or not. It says subscribers 991 up there. Can you see that? And it's because I haven't hit the refresh stats. Now, if I hit the refresh stats, that number will change, and the views will change, and there you go. So now we're all synced up. There you go. Now you see 999. Good. Now we're all synced up. But that's how that works. Because I've been watching this for a few weeks, really. At this point, I've been watching this for a few weeks. As we got closer and closer, as we got over 9, as we got past, just one more. As we got past 900. Hang on a second. I don't have that. Yeah. I have OBS, and OBS is fine. OBS for me personally, and this all has to do with me personally. It's a little bit steeper learning curve, and to be honest with you, I'm not a person who wants to learn how to use a piece of software. I've never been that dude. I don't want to learn how to use a piece of software. I just want to be able to use it. And so I have vMix. I mean, I've used OBS when I had to, but I was able. I mean, in the last few months, I got blessed with a little extra money, so I bought a copy of vMix. Now I have the basic, the most basic of basic vmixes, which only gives me 4 inputs. I'd love to have 1,000. I mean, because the crazy part, Coach, is that vmix goes from like you could have 4 inputs for like you could buy the $60 one or the one that is like $1,000 or whatever it is. It's a lot more. It's a lot more than I was going to pay. And then you can have like 1,000 inputs. It's just it's just crazy. It's just insane. But the other part of it is all put together and really, really easy to use and really intuitive. So yeah, it is. I mean, vmix is very, very intuitive. So I'm using it and getting the live started and all that stuff was super easy. And I don't want I don't want to have to learn how to use a piece of software. I just want to be able to use it. I guess people would go, "You're lazy. You're really not a technical person." No, I'm a user. When I got my ham radio license a long time ago, you read the book and you go to take the test and you talk to all those people there and they're building radios, they're building antennas, and I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna press the button on the 2 meter and talk. Use like a walkie-talkie. That's all I wanted to do. I was like, what frequency do I need to type in so I can hit the repeater? I just want to use it. I don't want to build one. I don't want to go on my roof and build an antenna. I don't. I want to buy an antenna, shove it up there. But I've always been that kind of dude. I can use the crap out of technology. I don't want to build it. Do you have a handheld, Coach? You have a 2 meter handheld? Well, I'll tell you, back in the day, when I did it a long time ago, I found a test bank that had the questions. I got it from one of the dudes who guess what? I'm a Radio Shacker, right? But you knew that already, didn't you? One of the guys who used to come in, and he hit me to a test bank that had all the questions. So I tell you what I did the night before the test. I went in there and I just banged the crap out of that test bank. I just banged it, and I got to the point. So I just recognized the questions, and so I knew what the answer was. So I went in to the test, and it was the very next day. I think it was at the Civic Center or whatever here in Tampa, and I killed it. I left the test going, yeah, I passed that. And then a couple of weeks later, they sent me my license in the mail and all that stuff. Unfortunately, though, because I'm lazy and easily distracted, I've let it lapse, and now I can't find the test bank, and of course Radio Shack doesn't exist anymore, and so I've lost touch with all those dudes, and I don't know. I'd like, with the hurricanes that we have and all that stuff, I'd like to have it back because, yes, maybe the cell phone works, but it'd be just one more thing to have as not just a weather radio, but a piece of safety equipment. If I had a 2 meter, and I know in an emergency situation, even if I don't have a license, it's $24. That's cool. Even if I don't have a license, I know in an emergency, if I bought a radio, I could use it. In an emergency, you can use it. So, yeah. Oh, that's probably a nice radio, dual band radio. That's probably a nice radio. Yeah. So I'll probably do. I mean, is it 2 meter? It's not 2 meter and 10 meter, is it? Because there's really not much going on 10. There hasn't been much going on 10 meters in a while. Is it 2 meter and 10 meter? Yeah, there's still more going on 2 meter, and especially if you live in a place where you can find a bunch of operators and find a repeater and that kind of stuff. Okay, no worries, no worries. Yeah, you'll the second that you'll find, I'd find a radio. If I were you, I'd find a radio group where you are, and if they have meetings, attend. And no worries, Coach. Thanks, folks. Thanks again. Those of you who are out there who are watching, who are still watching. We were at 999 subscribers at this point. We are one away from a major milestone. Um, yeah. So, Coach, if you could find a group, the idea is to find a group because I thought this thing with being a ham operator wasn't necessarily to be a lone wolf. Is to find a community of people. Now we said we got to find a community of people. Yeah, but we got to find a community of people to hang with. A bunch of and it's usually a bunch of dudes. I ain't gonna lie, it's a sausage fest, and you just hang out, and they know a whole bunch about the stuff, and what they'll do is they can't wait to tell you what they know, and show you what you can do, and then help you with it. I mean, so it's cool. And if you're kind of nerdish, like I was, and am about that kind of stuff, it's great. Everything I learned at Radio Shack that I needed to know, I learned from customers. Because when I started there, I didn't know the difference between a resistor and a transistor. I didn't have any idea. I didn't know what they did, or diode. I didn't have any idea. I learned all that stuff from. I knew what a fuse was. I was good with fuses. Yeah, I was your fuse man. Yeah, but I learned all that from customers because back then guys couldn't wait to tell you what they were doing. They go, they'd come in with the part number. I need a 276 127. I don't know what that is, but that's And you go, okay, they're over there. You go and you get them, and then you ask the question. So, yeah, so what are you doing with this? And they tell you, and they tell you, and they write the diagram for you and stuff. And you're like, and when I first started, I was like, well, cool. That'll be $4.99. Can I have your name? Remember that? You go to Radio Shack, can I have your name and address? Remember that? People will go, no. Of all the things, and this is probably every Radio Shacker who's ever worked for Radio Shack, who said, the thing that they like the people, they usually like people they work with, but what they hated was, can I have your name and address? No. I'm paying cash. Okay. My the red battery, the free 9-volt battery, the red batteries, they were the worst thing ever, dude. When we stopped doing that, you bring that up. When we stopped doing that, people came in with their little battery cards, especially the seniors, right? Came in every month with their little battery card. I'm here to get my battery. You're trying to sell a computer because we worked on commission, right? I'm trying to sell a computer. And he's standing there looking in his shirt pocket. I need to get my battery. I just came for my battery. And I'm thinking, what in the hell do these people have? What are they using that has 9-volt batteries? The only thing that I can imagine they were using for a 9-volt battery was like a transistor radio, right? Right? Like, what the? Dude. Oh, yeah, the battery club. But I tell you what, though, it was a smart idea back in the day because that meant that you had people coming into the store, even if they were only coming to get their battery, they were coming in the store every month. Every month. And then they would say, I didn't get my catalog this year. You didn't mail it to me. No. Because we stopped mailing catalogs 15 years ago. We have one in the store that I'll give you, but no. It was a whole vibe. It was a whole vibe. I liked it. I really had a good time there. I really did. It was one of those. It's one of those jobs that I am certainly thankful for having, and I still use a lot of the stuff that I learned as an employee there. A lot of the technical stuff I'm still able to use. When I became the praise and worship leader at my church, I was able to, we're putting together PAs and stuff. I was able to use a lot of the knowledge that I got from Radio Shack, in designing and actually putting together what we needed for the praise and worship service. I was able to do that, and later on, when I started so Coach, you remember that period of time where everybody was building their own computers? Remember, we're all building our computers. Remember that? Because at the time it was cheaper to do a build than to buy something that was already made. Remember that? Remember that there was this whole vibe that everybody was going out and buying stuff and putting computers together. Yes. And outside of the very first Tandy 2500 that I owned, for years, every computer that we had in the house, I think my wife bought PC stores. PC parts was everywhere. Places like PC Renaissance and of course you could just buy the parts from Computer City and CompUSA. It was a gas. It was gas. It was the Wild West. It was a lot of fun, and yes, fries in other parts of the country. There weren't any fries here, but same deal. And you'd go in, and again, it was the same thing as the community. Yeah, you were to Computer City. Yeah, the Computer City. Yes, indeedy. It was the same thing, the same sort of community thing. People couldn't wait to tell you. You had a question, people had answers. They couldn't wait to tell you. Ooh, you were an account executive. Wow, you were up there. You sold the Bidman. I bet. I bet you it was great fun. Those were good days. They really were. I just loved it. Hang on a second here. This is decaf, everybody. Although I'm exhausted because I worked today. We're gonna. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember when that happened. I remember. I had some friends that worked in a Computer City local, and because the school I was working at the time, we used to go by there and pick up stuff all the time. Wow. He went to lunch. He came back and said, "Yeah, you guys are done." What? That sucks. That's awful. Oh my God. I'll believe you. That is terrible. That's some low class behavior there. Yeah, enjoy your lunch forever. Go on home and have some more lunch. Wow. All right, folks. Thanks so much for dropping by. For the people who are on now. It had to be painful as heck, because you build, because the idea is that you build relationships. All right, no worries. No. I'm going to be on. I'm going to try to hold out. We're doing this live here. My name is Will Austin. This is the Morning Report, a production, part of the Fightback Media channel. We appreciate you being here. This channel is my socio-political channel, and you can check out all the videos. We've been doing videos here since January of 17th of 2011, and I know what I know is that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I said we because Fightback Media is something that I put together, and I have some friends help me with from time to time. My friend Paul Swanson Paul Swanson of the Swanson Report, who lives in Ashland, um, Wisconsin. Yeah, yeah. Um, has helped me with some videos on the channel, and we have co-wrote some episodes, and he has been my ride or die since the Liberty News days. We used to get together, and we used to work together on at Liberty News, and that was fired up by folks at Grassfire Nation, and yeah, and that goes all the way back to the Blog Talk Radio days. Blog Talk Radio, remember Blog Talk Radio? And yeah, that goes all the way back there. And he's been my ride or die for a long time. So when I talk about the channel, I always say we because I want to include Paul. We were both on Heading Right Radio. Heading Right Radio was something that Alan Levy. Oh, cool. And when we get done here, I'll go check Paul. I'll go check you. You know, Coach, I'll go check you out and subscribe to your channel too. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that's what we do. And like I said, I always say we because Paul has been such a big help. And if I need something, all I have to do is text him. And all I do is text him, and he rearranges his evening and says, "Yeah, I can be on with you," and he's there. So, good guy. So I have to thank Paul again for this particular helping us get to this milestone, especially on this channel. This has been the little channel that could, where it would stay flatline for a long time, not really move one way or the other. But now we are right there. We are at the precipice. We're at the door. We're at the door. We need one more. Just one more. What time is it? It is 7 minutes to 12 here on Eastern Daylight Time. 7 minutes to 12. So we're almost to Friday morning. We just need one more. Just need one more. One more. That's it. Just one more. And that'll be exciting. Now also, once we get to one more, we still have to get 4,000 hours of views. So Patriot News Network, fantastic. Some of the people that have been on this program, on this channel, yeah, we got to get to 4,000 hours. Yeah, that's the work. The work that then is we need to get to 4,000 hours. I'll go ahead and copy that, and then we'll give me just a second here, and I'll try to watch the numbers and make sure everything's cool. Give me just a second here. I'm going to paste that in. Try to get over there. One second here. It gave me something I don't think I wanted. There you go. I think I got you. There we are. Yep. I think I got you, my friend. Yep, I do. I got you. Let me get back to here. Well, well, what happens is that life happens, man. You know, life happens. You know, and you know, and what we learn in doing this is that when life happens, something has to give, and this takes a while. And the stuff you were doing, it takes a while to do. You got to set it up. You got to make sure it works. You got, I mean, it's a thing. It's a whole vibe. So it isn't like it can run on autopilot. Um, so you actually have to do it. Even this, where a lot of this is scripted. You know, we write the scripts or you know, or use articles or whatever. You have to you have to do it. You have to actually, you know, find the time to do it. Thank you. I appreciate that greatly. I do. I do. Um, like I said, you know, everybody, like we don't have. Thank you. You're very coach. I appreciate that. We don't have a marketing department. We, I mean, we don't even have like an Indian dude on Fiverr who'll share every video. That might be cool, you know. Hire a dude on Fiverr and say, okay, every day you got to share the channel with at least 100 people, right? You get to find 100 people to share their channel with every day. Pay them pay them $10 a week and to do that. But so we've said forever, you out there are our marketing department. It might not be a bad idea. The idea is you are a marketing department. You are, and I've been really, really honest with people. Said you are all we have. We don't have the Indian dude, on Fiverr. We don't have a marketing department. And it's funny, man, because on LinkedIn, I get all these, all these people trying to contact me. Hey, man, we can get your channel seen by a lot of people. We can get you on the top 10 of Google. Blah 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 blah. All you have to do is pay us $1,000 a month. And I'm like, $1,000 a month? You must be out of your damn mind. And at the time, I had like several. I said, and one of those emails I had like 700 subscribers. I got 700 subscribers. What makes you think I've got $1,000 a month to give you, or to give anybody other than the mortgage company? What the heck? It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely freaking ridiculous. So once you become what I call a micro channel, and this is, yeah, it was crazy. And I still consider this, even at, because of the time it's taken, and we're really niche, really niche it seems, and because I won't do a lot of the stuff the other people do, I just won't, because it's not me. It just isn't me. And if something that I want to do is that I want to be real, I want to be, I want to be authentic. Is that the word? Authentic? I want to be authentic. Because the worst thing that could happen, I think, is that if somebody is watching one of my videos or been watching my videos, and then I go somewhere, I get to go somewhere because I used to travel. When my friend Shirley, who's always alive, used to go to L.A. and participate in functions in California. And when I was working with Liberty News, my friend Eric Odom would invite me to cover elections. I was in Wisconsin, and then we were in Virginia, and that kind of stuff. And when I would travel, the worst thing that could happen is that if someone had been watching my videos and they met me personally and found out that I was a different dude, that would have been crushing to me. So I thought, I'm going to be me the whole time. And I understand that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. I get it. It's fine. It's fine. But what I also learned, man, is that I don't have to be. I don't have to be. I can be me. Because the thing that I do best is be me. The thing that I do best is be me. I don't do anything better than being Will. I don't do anything better. Now, it may not be for everybody, and that's fine too. I'm not. I get suggestions from people that I ought to do this or that. I should be more like a Candace Owens or Officer Tatum, and on and on. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm a little bit more old school. I'm a little bit more settled. I want to be a little bit more cerebral. I want to talk about, just because I'm black, I don't want to talk about race all the damn time. Help me, Jesus. I just don't. I used to tell people when I was doing the Blog Talk Radio shows, like, so they thought that I was a shill. You're just a shill for the Republican Party. No, if you listen to the shows, I have problems with Republicans, right? I do. I don't have problems with the rank and file Republicans that that I go to meetings with here and that are my friends here. I don't have much problem with them, but I have a problem with Republican leadership, especially Republican leadership in Washington, D.C., not Washington State, but Washington D.C. Yes, I got big problems with with the leadership at the top. I do, and always have. So what happens is you end up sometimes doing what I do in no man's land, right? Because I'm not going to be a shill. I'm not going to get deputized. When I was a member of the Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee, yeah, and I was a precinct captain for my precinct here that is 80% Democrat. Now, I'm not sure what these people thought I should do, except they thought that I was going to go out and just deputize other black people, that they were going to deputize me, and I was just going to go out there. I'm not here to convert anybody. I'm not here to convert anybody. I'm here to try to do this channel and tell as much truth as I can about situations and things and people. I'll let folks decide on their own. And with enough support and enough time, people will make decisions on their own anyway. I'm not here to convert people. I'm not here to knock people over the head. I'm not. Which is why it takes since 2011 to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's why it takes so long. There you go. Anyway, we are at, what time is it? It is 12:04 a.m. on Friday here. And we are at 999 subscribers. 999 subscribers. Wow. All right, man. Get some rest, Coach. I appreciate you greatly. And I'll be checking out videos on your channel, sharing the ones that should be shared, which is probably all of them. And I will hopefully talk to you soon. Be well, my friend. Take care. All right, we're still at 999. When I left for work today, at about 2:30, we were at 910. No, 990. That's where we're at. It's a pleasure, Coach. I appreciate you. We're at 990, and I didn't think that we'd get to this number today. I just didn't. But here we are at this number, and hopefully in the next little bit, the tote board will turn over. I feel like Jerry Lewis on the muscular dystrophy telethon. I would turn and look at Ed McMahon and go, "Turn it, hit the tote board." and then it would turn over, and then he would cry, and his tie would be on his head. You remember that, right? And there was a couple of years he would get on and said, "I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to beg. I'm not. You know. And you know what to do. If you want to help my kids, you help my kids. If you're just here for the entertainment, okay." So what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to. I want 1,000. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want 1,000 plus. This live's been going for an hour and 56 minutes. I want 1,000. I'd like to get 1,000 and go to bed, and wake up at 1,011, 1,012, or whatever. But I'm not going to beg. I'm not. I'm not. I've shared as much as I have possibly could have shared concerning this channel. As again, I don't know if I could have said, if I can say anything else about it. About why I do it. And if I get to 1,000 or not, why I will continue to do it. Why I think it's important. And how I got here. Maybe I haven't shared that story with everybody about how I got here. Because people make assumptions. It was so funny. I remember being on Blog Talk Radio that I got this call from this lady who had named herself Maze, M-A-Z-E, and she was a black lady. Well, how you know she was black? It was radio, because she told me. So, and she said, "Can I ask you a question?" Yeah, sure. I'm gonna do it for you, Maze. She said, "Do you live in a gated community?" And I was like, it made me laugh, because I don't. I live in the hood. I don't live in the ghetto, but I damn sure live in the hood. No, I don't. And she said, "Are you married to a white woman?" I said, "What? Are you married to a white woman?" No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. Dated a white girl in college. Married a black woman, been married to her, actually now, damn near 40 years. But she was ready to pigeonhole me. She was ready to pigeonhole me in some stereotype. And was sorely disappointed that I didn't fit. That somehow I had been whitewashed, right? And only because I didn't share the same opinions that they did. But I'll tell you where it came from. I can tell you almost to the day where the process started. It was December 12th, 1990. That's the day my son was born. December 12th, 1990. At the time, I was a registered Democrat. It's funny how us former Democrats tend to make the best Republicans. Tend to make the best conservatives, for sure. But anyway, I remember saying in college, when it came to abortion, that if you're against abortion, don't have one. I thought that was an erudite, just incredibly smart thing to say. Now, yes, it was ate up with a dumbass. It was an arrogant, liberal college thing to say. Especially if you know what the horror of abortion actually is. I did not. But back to September 12th, 1990. We found out, my wife and I found out that she was pregnant on July 4th. I know I'm very specific because it just all sort of happened that way. Uh, I was teaching summer school at my school, and I didn't get a chance to do that of the time I was at this particular school, maybe once or twice, but this particular time I was teaching summer school, and we were off because July 4th was sometime in a week, sometime during the week, and we only got like that day off, and we had to go back the next day. And my wife wasn't feeling well. We were newly married. We've been married for like 3 years at that point, maybe 2.5, 3 years at that point. And she said, I think I may be pregnant. Which actually didn't frighten me, didn't scare me. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I plan on being married to the woman for the rest of my life, so I told everybody at the wedding that, yep, I'm going to marry this woman for the rest of my life, so if we happen to have a baby, then we have a baby. Not a, okay, fine. We'll work it. All the other details will work out. So I will go over to the Eckerd's drugstore and buy a pregnancy test and take it back. She goes in the bathroom, and I think it was supposed to turn blue, and this thing turned bright blue, like the sky blue. So guess what? We're pregnant. Maya's pregnant. And this is July. Remember July 4th? This is July. And so I go back to school the next day, and I tell, especially the ladies, the ladies that we lunch with, the ladies that we lunch with, that, oh, Debbie's pregnant, and we're going to have a baby. So this is July, right? Everybody's thinking July, August, September, November, October, November, December, January, February, March, right? March? See, did I get that right? July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 8, April maybe, March, April. No. So we go to the doctor, and the doctor says, You're pretty far along. Looks like October. So I go back to the beginning of school. When school starts, and I go, we're going to have the baby in October. And everybody goes, what? What? October? Because now it's August. We're back in school. October. And remember, now this is August. My son was born on September 12th. So my son was never just this weird concept. He was never a glob of cells. We started talking about names right away. What if we have a daughter? We're going to name her after my wife's grandmother. It's fine with me. What if we have a son? Well, we're going to name him. We're going to formalize my first name, and the middle name will be his grandfather, her dad's name, and that's what we'll do. So he was always, especially when we found out that it was a boy, he was always William Alexander. Always. He was never a clump of cells. He was never this idea. He was always William Alexander. And on that afternoon, when I am holding William Alexander in the labor delivery room, and those gray eyes are staring at me, and the power of that and the weight of that happening, that now I'm responsible for everything, it was amazing. Absolutely flipping amazing. And I started thinking about how many of these children that I'm holding have been murdered, have been sliced up, sucked out of their mother's womb with a vacuum cleaner, and thrown away like so much trash. And then what I knew then is like I don't really believe what some of these people believe. I don't. I don't know if I ever did, but I know that I don't know. I don't now. So the transformation started. Transformation started. My father-in-law passed away a few months after that, and my wife decided that she would go back to church. Now, I was considered a good guy. I wasn't a God guy, but I was a good guy. So I was thrilled that she wanted to go back to church. Why? Because it made her happy. And eventually I started to go back with her. And after a while, I got led to the Lord. I turned my life over to Christ. And now I had to reevaluate everything. I already had separated myself because of the whole abortion thing from most liberal Democrats. Because I just didn't think it was right. I still don't. I didn't think it was right then. And if that wasn't right, what else did I have to reevaluate? A lot of stuff. And then I found out that, you know what? I'm not like those. I'm not like them. I can't support the stuff they support. I can't support the people they support. And frankly, it wasn't like the Republicans were better, but they were different. And I felt I had to give that a shot, especially in Florida. MPAs or independents aren't involved in primaries, so I had to have a voice the whole time. And one thing led to another, and then I'm on Blog Talk Radio doing a 15-minute show every Saturday. That turned into a half-hour show. That turned into doing 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, plus an hour on Saturday of this while life was going on. And then a chance to be on, like I said earlier, on WGUL, ACC WGUL on a broker radio show for 22 weeks. Plus, be 5 days a week, 2 hour show on Blog Talk Radio. And I'm learning, and I'm listening, and I'm learning, and it's churning. It's churning, I'm learning, I'm listening. I'm working it out. And now I'm sitting here at $9.99 on my YouTube channel, waiting for the number to flip to 1000. Waiting for y'all. That's how I got here. If you were wondering, that's how I got here. That's how I got here. And now, what I get to do is I get to tell you that you need to go to the Patriot Network, Patriot News Network, and subscribe to Coach Mark's channel, or follow him on X at Patriot News Network. Because he just started. He's got like 8 videos up. He's got 60 subscribers already. I'm the 60th one. And I'm even gonna. I went ahead and clicked the notification bell. And Coach Mark, I don't click notification bells. I don't even expect you to click the notification bell on my channel. But you are the newest of my of the channels that I'm subscribed to, and I'll be suggesting your channel. Here's what it says. Oh, we have some time here. It says Patriot News Network. Breaking news from around the world with a focus on America. It has a copyright disclaimer here. Okay. So you can see it. You can see them on X.com at https://x.com/Patriot News Network, and that's Patriot News NWRK. You can follow them on X, and I think I'm going to do just that right now. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Follow Coach on. Oops, got that in the wrong way. Follow him on X because I said I would. True. We should do what I'm following already. Cool. He's got 24 followers on X, formerly known as Twitter. Follows Greg Gutfeld and Dan Bongino. I've had Dan Bongino on one of the Blog Talk radio shows, and I almost forgot Kim McClinton. We were on the Exceptional Conservative Network with Kim McClinton for a good bit, where I got to do an interview with Dan Bongino. He had just stopped working for the Secret Service, and we'll get that interview up. We'll find it. I think it's out there on Spreaker, and because it was great. He was awesome, and we need to get that interview back and get that out there to you, because Dan Bongino has been the man for years. Let's see, who else does he follow? He follows Senator Bill Nelson and Joe Rogan, and of course Elon Musk. And the only person that we follow that's in common right now is Elon Musk and Franklin Graham. Got somebody blocked. I don't know what that's all about, but there you go. We're at $9.99. So go out and look for Patriot News Network on X and on YouTube. Subscribe and follow. It's a great way to support. It truly is a great way to support. Let's see. Let's go back to here. There we are. Fantastic. We're at $9.99. Let me get a little bit more of the decaf. Maybe the caffeine and the decaf will push me into the turnover. Let's see here. All right, we're gonna let this settle, and you can see the number. What's this? Yeah. You can see this. You can see the number. So we're just going to be there, or be here. Really enjoyed talking to Coach Mark from the Patriot News Network. Really had a great time talking to him. He was great. Let's see here. Yepper is 2 hours and 15 minutes. I am planning on. It is 12:27 a.m. I will keep the live going, but I'll probably be asleep. We're just going to watch. I'm also recording the live as well.
Dude, when they ask what's in your mouth, you're about to meet your girlfriend's dad who's from the country. Here's some quarters that'll save your life. If you're wearing a cap like this, turn it around. When you meet his wife, take it off. Oh, and that's a big one. Remember that that woman is his wife, not your girlfriend's mother. I mean, she is her mom, but this is an insulation issue. Use sir and ma'am like it's the only two words in your vocabulary that you're fluent in. If you own a squatted truck, don't show up at it. I would just roll it off. And that's got call her parents Mr. and Miss last name. If her dad tries to get super friendly and say, nah, just my first name's fine, it's a trap. And if his daughter says, why don't you come and look at my room, that's another trap. Agreeing to this request by an adverse effect. And in 48 hours, you'll be missing for 48 hours. When asked, what plans do you have with my daughter? I would suggest things like Bible study and whatever you have in mind, sir. When you say goodbye to her, do it inside. Shake her father's hand, look him dead in the eye, thank you, sir. And then with a swift pace, get back in your truck and leave. Oh, and do not message me. You're about to meet your girlfriend. Hey, don't buy a new AC. As it turns out, the state of Florida has just announced a new program. Job we make children know math. Wow. Do they want to know math? No, they don't want to know it. Jesus made the knowing against their will. Who are these children? Just whatever kids live near the building. How much do I get paid? About $10 every 4 years. What if I get really good at it? What happens? Nothing happens. Nobody notices. Okay, I'll try joining Webby. Job. Sorry about that.
We got texts from people that they were just confused that they saw police cars outside the house.
And Potter down on the field. I want you to meet a special guest in just a second, but I want to explain what I'm wearing first. You may not know this, but I marched. 1979 through 1981, I was drum major of the Geneseo Knights from the Bugle Corps, and this was the cape that I wore on the podium. There's the crew. A picture of me in that cape. I look exactly the same, don't I? Just exactly the same. There is a museum I want you to know about. It is
Here, thinking about Chevy owners. Do you have a 2020 to 2025 Chevy? If so, you can get $68,480 or more under Lemon Law if your Chevy has consistent issues. Click below to check your eligibility.
Your AC needs regular maintenance to prevent costly breakdowns and high energy bills. Right now, when you join our yearly membership, you'll also get a free UV light and duct sanitation, completely for free. Plus, 2 AC tune-ups a year, a water heater flush, plumbing inspection, and
When you walk into the band room, what do you see? Do you see sheet music laying all over the floor, instrument cases not put up? Backpacks laying on timpani. That's the worst, right? Like you've got that, you've got people's cases that aren't laid out in the line. People think about the simplest things in your culture. They really affect everything, right? The whole phrase, like how you do one thing is how you do everything. I think that really applies to people. Yeah. You go on lunch break. What does your drum line look like when it's laying there and you're not using the equipment? What's the tuba section look like? What does the trumpet section look like? When you put down your instruments and you get water, like it's all the little stuff like that. Breakers do.
Well, you can't fire me. I'm the face of this company.
Well, not anymore.
I got all my stuff in there nailed to the ceiling.
Yeah, we took that down.
My tools,
Yes.
my washboard, even my canoe.
All of it. Yeah, as you can see, we did a complete remodel.
Looks like a Zaxby's with the gift shop.
Is there anybody that we can get to the company we want?
No?
Not a single person from these 700 family portraits that you had hanging on the wall.
I tell you what, I'm glad you took me off that sign because any restaurant that don't want kids playing checkers next to an active fireplace underneath the rusty old pitchfork don't deserve this face.
Great. Okay, you can turn your pegs into each other.
Pegs? I'm only leaving one. Yeah, ignoramus.
I'm afraid there's no easy way to put this, Mr. Merrill.
Please, call me Cracker.
We're letting you go.
Well, you can't fire me. I'm the face of this company.
What God's looking for is a yielded life, a life that's
Did you hear the Beastie Boys are releasing a 5-part anthology?
Really?
Yeah, and parts A through D are free, but the last part is not.
Why?
You gotta stay! For your right!
In York, Maine, they have a little bit of a problem. High school didn't have the enrollment that they expected. The district offered them $20,000 early retirement buyout to these teachers. A few of them took it, but guess what? The ones that didn't, they went ahead and just fired them anyways.
no!
They laid 2 teachers off that didn't accept the buyout. Yeah, and the reason they weren't accepting the buyout is because they needed the full health insurance that was being provided. And the school was about to give a 5.5% raise, or did give it, and that's why they needed the buyouts. I think we're going to start to see the aging teachers being forced out. Unfortunately, this is not a offer. It's an offer you can't refuse. It's a double-edged.
So Jay Phil, I told him, tell me if I'm wrong, but I told him at this point, right, he should be focusing on how he can make his guy do what he wanted him to do. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're absolutely right.
So like that's where your mindset gotta be on there. I think everybody is really starting to ace up to where we need to be. We know who our groups are, we know what our guys can do, we're gonna focus on specific things right now. So Jay,
Remember why we're here. The All New Acrobat needs their next jingle, and we're gonna give it to them.
We're not just making a jingle, we're creating a PDF PSA.
That's what I'm talking about. Now we're flowing. Bring them in.
Kristen Chenoweth? Oh, it's Chenoweth?
Sure.
I think she's right. Wish me luck.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Wow, I have goosebumps right now.
You are sitting underneath the air conditioning vent.
Oh yeah.
No, it stands for portable document format.
Feeling creative so much. Adobe. Oh, yeah, nothing wrong with it. Adobe.
Amazing, Mr. the Rapper.
Just call me Chan.
Okay, champ.
Please don't do that. I love that, but just this time, the express templates.
Oh, okay. Give me 5 minutes.
Is the video necessary? I'm not sure. AI assistant, always by your side.
Break down your contracts and finish on time.
Yeah, I'm worried about her.
Now put your PDFs in the air and edit like you just don't care. Ricka, 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 rick, right?
Patty, what are you doing?
It is not me.
AI assistant, save it.
I'm pretty sure the humans are the pack leaders.
Oh no, they're staff. Actually, servants. Staff at least have a union.
I'm pretty sure the humans are the pack leaders.
Oh no, they're staff.
I didn't pay a single dollar out of pocket to get these new windows.
Okay, double click on my computer. Okay, double click on my computer.
I can see your computer.
No. Click on my computer on your computer.
How can I click on your computer from my computer?
There is an icon labeled my computer on your computer. Double click it.
What the hell? What is your computer doing on my computer?
Double click on your computer.
Which icon do I have to click?
My computer.
Tell me where do you live? I go to your house to click on your computer.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hurricane? Have you ever heard this sound?
The tube is empty and this die barely fits inside the tube, but there's no space for it to turn or spin or twist or anything like that. Now here comes the weird part. So you can see that there's a 3 here, right? But if I tilt it, it's a 6, which that doesn't make any sense, right? Now if I tilt it again, grid print so you can see.
Oh no, thank you. I'm watching my calendar.
Oh, don't lose those curves. Nothing good happens on a straight road.
Gimme.
The Christian Wilkins situation is getting out of control. For those of you that don't know, earlier last week, Christian Wilkins was released by the Raiders, and we just assumed that it was because of his fractured foot from last season. The only issue is that we couldn't have been further wrong. Yesterday, more news on the issue was leaked, and apparently a teammate said that the Christian Wilkins incident that got him cut from the team was super weird. This started a ton of rumors, but today, Adam Schefter reported that the real reason Wilkins was cut was because he playfully kissed one of his teammates on the head, and that said teammate got offended by the kiss. I'm assuming that the issue then went to HR, and that's why the Raiders said they couldn't see a future for Wilkins playing, but some of the rumors leaked before the official report are actually insane. One specific one said that Wilkins kept on tickling players' feet even after being asked to stop, and it turns out he had 3 different warnings that he just didn't seem to care about. And now, I don't know if I necessarily believe this because it was alleged, but I almost feel like the kiss story could be a cover. Teammates are saying that the situation was super weird, and a homie kiss before practice wouldn't necessarily place emphasis on the word weird. But now, feet tickling? That's just straight up weird, bro. I swear, no NFL team should want to give this man another shot after this, but you never know. It's 2025. The Christian will pull all that down.
You know what really frustrates me? I spent years serving in the Air Force. Even though I used the VA for everything, when I turned 65, I was told I had to go on Medicare and pay over $180 a month for something I felt I didn't need. No one told me how it worked, let alone that I didn't actually have to pay the full price because I'm a veteran. It wasn't until I ran into an old friend, Mike, at the hardware store that I realized how much I'd been missing out. We got to talking about retirement, and he mentioned he was getting $1,800 back every year on his Medicare Part B premium because he uses the VA just like I do. Not only that, but he also had dental, vision, and hearing coverage.
Sick of repainting your house every few years.
That's a red flag you notice with the money here.
Every Sunday the bats come around, but the roof still dripping, pews still rocking, somebody lying in the name of Jesus.
What's the hardest part of service?
Pastor prayed so long, I done fell asleep, woke up, and he's still saying, Father God.
What's the red flag you see every Sunday?
Choir done sang 5 songs back to back, and at this point I'm thinking we at Coachella, not church.
What's the red flag you see every Sunday?
Sister Johnson catching the Holy Ghost, but she don't ever catch them holes in her stocking.
What's the red flag you see every Sunday?
Church so long, I done took 2 naps, had a bottle, and we still on announcements.
This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends.
All right, Roscoe, employee health evaluation. Let's get started. How much would you say you drink?
I'd say I'm good for about 10 or 12.
Okay, 10 or 12 drinks a week. That's not bad at all.
Oh, a week? No, so that's not 10 or 12 a week.
You're telling me you drink 10 or 12 beers a day?
Well, I didn't know you were counting beers, too.
Yes, of course. I'm asking about all alcoholic drinks.
Well, I mean, it'd be fast if I count by 5s.
Did you purchase or lease a vehicle in the last...
You see them in the back? You think we can get them? No, you mean them right over there. Yeah, them, what you think? I think I'll be right back. Now, when I call for you, you come on over. Now, excuse me, ladies. Now, I just saw you looking at me while I was looking at you. Now, I was just thinking maybe I could be the first gentleman, come over here and offer you ladies some drinks. Before I do that, let me ask you something. What are your plans?
over there. Come on up. We're gonna buy you ladies some drinks. Now, when you're getting these drinks, I need you to realize this. You can get any type of drinks that you want. You can get drinks off the top shelf. You can get drinks from the middle shelf. Hell, you can drink beer all night. Doesn't matter to me because it's all included in the plan. We're gonna get out there and we're gonna dance. Now, after we dance and after we drink, if you're anything like I am, you're gonna be slightly hungry. Never fear, because also included in my plan is something to eat. Now I do realize this. We're going through some pretty tough times. And when we get out of here, it's gonna be fairly late. That may force me to take you to a place that you may not normally want to go. But don't judge me, because wherever we do go, we got that covered. And after we have that, we're going to get you back to wherever it is you need to go see. I also need you to realize this. You didn't have to pay for anything throughout this whole evening. That is the economic boost in our plan. Now my question to you is simple. Can I have sex with you? Now, if you're as smart as I think you are, and as American as I think you are, there's really only one answer that should be coming out of your mouth. Yes, we can.
Now you listen to me. I'll be sprung. I'll get out of here. And I'll beat this rap. You think I'm through? You don't know me. There's one thing I am through with. You. You ain't got a thing to worry about. I don't want no part of you.
Mommy.
Now you listen to me. I'll be sprung. I'll get out of here. And I'll beat this rap. You think I'm through? You don't know me. There's one thing I am through with. You. You ain't got a thing to worry about. I don't want no part of you. Now you listen to me.
This is Bass Player. Why play multiple strings when you can play one at a time? Do you like wearing a small leather jacket in the middle of winter? No plectrum is thick enough. Why remember songs by their names when you could just ask mid-gig what the next song is? Why did he start playing bass? He doesn't know. What does he want for lunch? Whatever everyone else is having. He's trying to fit his amp in the back of an Uber, even though the venue has a backline. Bass Player. He has two pedals, tuner and louder. Look at his bass face. It's the same as his sex face and his poo face. Now he's got his foot on the monitor. Bass Player. He doesn't want any guitar in the wedges. This is
Ted Danson. Ted Danson, in my opinion, is the greatest sitcom star of all time. Longevity, he's still in him today. Still in today. Back to Cheers, it's still in him today, right? Ted Danson in the 90s dated Whoopi Goldberg. That's not the weird bit, but... They had a roast of Whoopi Goldberg at the Friars Club, and at Whoopi Goldberg's request, Ted Danson did blackface. When you get home, Google Ted Danson blackface, because it does not disappoint. If you're a fan of blackface, then this is Michelin star blackface. But if you like to get on the internet and get really angry, it'll scratch that itch as well. No one loses when they Google Ted Danson blackface.
Today you're gonna follow Jesus.
They said he was a stopgap, a placeholder, a bridge quarterback. But at Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield has become something much more. He's become a spark. Signed in 2023 with more questions than answers, Mayfield arrived in Tampa with something to prove. And upon his arrival, he has brought unrivaled leadership. When many had written off the Buccaneers after the Brady era, Baker hadn't blinked. He's battled, he's rallied. His style isn't always clean, but it is fearless. Baker plays with edge, with fire, and with the heart of a player who never stops playing. In 2 seasons, he's transformed the narrative. He cost
Exclusive discounts.
I was sitting in the rain the other day, getting soaked, watching those football players play. My team was losing, so it wasn't even funny. And old dumb me, I bet all my rent money. I got so shook, I could hardly
hardly even talk. So I got my bass, and we went for a walk. We started walking.
I love this video. They have no idea that she just planned out her whole path. She know exactly where she want to go. As soon as I get this ball, I'm about to skirt. She made immediate eye contact. Everything about this look says you can't guard me man to man. Zone coverage, not even a run play. You came away with them golf socks stretched up to your shins. You got to at least a scrunch in it. And he might as well do some shin guards in his socks. Cause you can't pull them socks down. You definitely ain't pulling his flag. Siri going off in her head right now. 3 steps, turn right. Look at him in his face. Hit him with that Braxton Miller spin. And just one more. Now it's over. My eyes are on 6 points. Check the cameraman, make sure I lose him too. Alright, that's good. Describe it. Jersey hat, tuck, glove with the socks, headband with the cleat. All you miss is a GLD necklace and some Habibi flags. Siri popped back out for us.
I DM the lawyer from Instagram, so you don't have to.
Let's take a diminished scale. If we were gonna play up and down, you will only go to the 7th note. You say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the scale down and up. Scale 1 for the jack. Play the scale in third. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm going to go from B to A. I'm going to put 1 hair step in between B and C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. And now we got to go from the C to the B. Here's a hair step in between.
I feel like you're just here for the zip line. I feel like you're just.
Don't wait until your tree falls to get it removed.
Who seized? Johnny, turn around. All right, class, today you're going to be working with some high-powered saws. Now, I'll be in my office. Don't bother me. Guys, you got to learn this stuff. What do you think? You're just going to have a device in your pocket that has the answers to everything? Guys, put the phones away, all right? Those have the answers to everything. Okay, class, today we're going to learn why gravity is oppressive to plus-size body. Hey, guys, cut it with the skibbity. Today we're going to learn about... Hey, ChatGPT, give me a lesson plan for today. Hello, class. I am your AI teacher. Hey, kids, today we're going to learn how to mine lithium to help advance the will of the overseer. Grab your shovel! Hurry!
John Astin initially eyed the role of Lurch in the Addams Family, the butler, a character without a name at the start. However, he was deemed better suited for a more central role. Ted Cassidy, who embodied Lurch, also played Thing, showcasing remarkable versatility. Cassidy's Lurch became unexpectedly popular, particularly among teenage girls, while Jackie Coogan's transformation into Uncle Fester involved a dramatic makeover to secure the part. John Astin initially eyed the Tampa homeowners. You need to check it.
Okay, so you say you got the report card, so for math I got an A average, okay? B okay, but average. For science I got an A again to an average.
Objection.
I'll accept. Continue, Rivers.
I would like to
Excuse me, Your Honor, I objected.
Yes, I know, Mr. Gardner, and I accepted Mr. Rivers' evidence.
Yes, but you failed to rule.
My ruling is implicit, Mr. Gardner. Now sit down.
No, it isn't, Your Honor, and I will sit down when you rule.
Would you like to be held in contempt, Mr. Gardner?
No, I would not, Your Honor, but I would like a ruling on my objection.
You are trying my patience.
I understand that, Your Honor, but we both know if you don't use the proper form of sustained or overruled, the matter can't later be appealed. And I was surprised in reviewing your past court cases how often you encourage lawyers to move on without actually ruling, therefore avoided having your non-rulings overturned on appeal, in my opinion.
Mr. Gardner, I have never been quite so offended in all my years on the bench.
I understand that, Your Honor, but I still want a ruling I can appeal.
Your Honor, this evidence is necessary for our prosecution.
A conviction is necessary for your prosecution. That doesn't make it a worthy argument.
1 hour for lunch.
Your Honor!
I said 1 hour for lunch.
Objection!
I'll accept. Continue, Rivers.
I would...
We're not signing the new CBA offer. We want more of the NBA's money, Adam.
And I want hair and smaller ears. Just take the offer. The minimum salary is going to be $250K, and the max will be $1 million.
$250,000 a year isn't enough. I need $250,000 every 365 days.
What the hell are you talking about, Angel? Do you have period brain right now?
We're not accepting till we get a 50-50 revenue split.
That's not even possible, Kelsey. The WNBA loses money and only owns 42% of their league. The rest is owned by the NBA and investors.
Then the NBA should give us some of their shares.
Ha! You've been
suck my big Jewish balls, rectangle face. This is the best offer you're gonna get.
Then we'll go on strike. Basketball's my only income. I just released my new sneakers that everyone is gonna wear, just like Jordan's.
Are they not drug testing you all? Nope.
We're not signing the new CBA offer. We want more of the NBA's money out.
Skull Principal, we're 5 days into school. Don't get on my nerves already. How can I help you? Oh, hey, Miss Smith, how are you? Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard from you in the first 5 days. What's going on today? You want to know why the English teacher took up your child's cell phone? Well, why don't you ask your child why he had his cell phone out in the English class? There is no need for you to ever call me to ask why a teacher took up your child's cell phone. Do you know why? That's been the policy for 2 years. You signed a paper knowing that when your child takes their cell phone out at our school, the teachers are going to take them because we're not allowed to have cell phones out at school. So I'm not sure why you're calling me. What you should be doing is asking your child why he's not following the rules. Will you disagree with that? Well, I understand that. We got lots of parents that disagree with that. We even have teachers that disagree with that. But you know what? We're going to do it. You can call your state legislator and get it changed, but until they do, that's what we're going to do. Unlike you and your child, we're going to follow the rules. Now, we got 4 private schools in this city that don't follow that rule. You're welcome to go there. You can homeschool your child. You can even go to the surrounding district. I heard that they don't monitor it very well, but when you're in our school, when your child pulls out the cell phone, it's going to get taken away, and there's no need to call me every time that happens because that's what's going to happen every time. And you signed a paper on day 1 saying you would know that. I'm sorry you disagree with it. You can call your legislator, but we're going to follow the rules even when you do not. Yeah, I'm sorry if I sound irritated because I am. You're taking up my time asking me a question that you already know the answer to. Go talk to your child and follow the rules. All right, talk to you later. You have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow sometime. Good Lord.
I just don't want guys playing. It's a fake punt. It goes to Barner. And Barner is going to get it. And Gunning's going to leap over man in midfield. And Casey Barner is off to the races again. 3rd touchdown of the game for Casey Barner. I just don't want guys playing. It's a fake punt.
Your AC needs regular.
Hands down the greatest crawl space in history. This is my buddy Matt's house. Look at this. So it's got a concrete foundation so he can use this creeper to access the entire house. And if you look at the sides here, it's got closed cell spray foam. So this thing is fully encapsulated with the concrete foundation. I don't like receiving calls. I don't...
Did you know for Batman in the film, The Joker has to mask his chalk white face by painting himself flesh colored. In the script,
Thinking your AC needs a repair? We've got you covered. Whether it's a minor issue or a more serious fix, we make AC repairs quick, stress-free, and affordable.
There she is, my fluffy goddess. Come.
I work in the elementary school cafeteria, and instead of the kids like calling me by my name, like Mr. Reggie or Mr. Conquest, they call me Lunch Lady Boy. These kids call me Lunch Lady Boy every day. They did not give a about my first name.
Florida has some of the dirtiest tap water in the country, and no one's talking about it. You'd be shocked by what's actually in your water. It can dry out your skin.
flock safety technique.
What the heck kind of math is this? Because this sure ain't the math I grew up crying over. So don't ask me what a number.
This year we beat on the door. Next year, we're gonna kick the sun in.
Your first stretch is free. Yep, totally free. And assist.
I want the baby to kind of talk to me already. Come on, lady. Marley. That's the 32 strike.
Now, of course, Auburn won. Is there any question in your mind about who's number one in the country? Oh, there's no question in my mind or anybody. There's
What happened to Ralph Carter after Good Times ended? Ralph Carter began performing on Broadway as a child, debuting at age 9, and eventually winning awards for his role in the musical Raisin in 1973. He rose to fame as Michael Evans, the politically conscious youngest son on Good Times, which ran from 1974 to 1979. After the show ended, Carter released a solo album in 1975 and a disco single in 1985, then largely stepped away from on-screen acting. He returned to theater and stayed active on the New York stage, later serving as vice president of the black theater group Ogg Delco. Carter married twice and has 5 children. Now, in his 60s, he lives quietly in New York with his family. What happened to Ralph Carter after...
You're in the second half.
Oh my goodness! Victor Dukes just brought down the convocation center, and he just injured a player with a dunk.
You're in the second half.
Okay, I'm just gonna get one, alright? It's just one, alright? How bad could one be? It's not that expensive, it's not, well, I mean, I have to get it a friend, right? I mean, who's he gonna talk to? He's gonna get bored. And you know, what if they get sick of each other? You know, they need a third guy. And honestly, I have 3. I might as well get the whole set, you know? I mean, like, why not? I mean, just just complete it. I mean, and you know, they released a few more. You might as well. And you know, okay, I'm just gonna get one. All right, it's just one. All right, how bad could one be? It's not that expensive. It's not. Well, I mean, I have to get it a friend, right? I mean, who's he gonna talk to? He's gonna get bored.
You know the song Amazing Grace?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Good. So for this lesson, I thought maybe we could try soloing back and forth over Amazing Grace. What do you think? Okay, so like I play a line and then you play the next. Exactly. Just remember to keep it soft and really feel the music. I'll go first.
Let's hear your Indian.
I can't sit on that elephant. My ass is on fire from eating Orgis curry.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Time to fix your sliding glass door.
Oh, Holy Spirit, surround me with light. Please rid me of my negative karma and my wickedness. Please help me be a better person.
Watch it. Boom. That hand never goes underneath the ball. For every person that says this is a carry, are all your fake Facebook trolls out there. You've got to create this. People go, that's a silly drill. No, it's not. That drill works on my ability to string the ball up in my hand. You can see, I want this thing on a string, constantly right there. String, string. All right, here we go.
Did you know that you can bond with a tiny spider? This is Earl, the tiny jumping spider with the most adorable face.
How to easily dampen your snare drum like Alex Van Halen. Wow, that was easy.
Police, why is this guy purposefully following this coach? The reason why he's doing it is pretty surprising, because this is actually his job as a get-back coach to always follow the head coach and pull him off the field to avoid penalties. But although many people think this is a useless job, it's actually very necessary because...
One Pulaski moment that I was able to extract from there is that
my neighbor and I got hit by the same
play sequence a moment ago. This is the play before the touchdown. A.D. Mitchell frustrated, looking over the sideline. Give me the ball. Feed me. Tapping on this, just asking for it. Then they decide to give him a chance. He makes the most of it. Play sequence a moment ago.
Yes!
Today we need to know the Frederick Douglass standard. Frederick Douglass taught liberty, respect for life, and personal responsibility are non-negotiable. My friend K. Carl Smith said, these aren't just conservative principles, they're American principles. If your message doesn't pass the Douglass test, it won't stand. So stand where Douglass stood, and you will never lose your footing. Today, we...